Alright, what is up guys? JaretCampisi back with another video. Today in front of me I've got the all-new 2018 Ducati Panigale V4S. This is actually our next project motorcycle. We're going to be customizing this bike over the next few months, and then we're going to be giving it away. If you would like to be entered to win this bike and help make the series possible, you can check out how all that works on our Patreon page, just Campisi Customs. It's always linked in the description below as well. But as this is a brand new motorcycle, I actually have to put some break-in miles on it, so I thought it would be cool to put some miles on it, take you guys along for the ride, talk about how the bike feels, my first impressions, my thoughts, how it compares to the 1299, and do a little walk around, talk about how different this motorcycle is from the 1299, and then take it for a spin. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the all-new Panigale V4S. Alright, so Christina's going to give me some help here while I'm talking about it. The first thing you'll notice when you're looking at this bike probably is that it's a little bit different. You know, for someone who doesn't know anything about a Panigale, it looks kind of like a Panigale, but if you look a little closer, you realize they've got a frame right here. The 1299 was a frameless design. Yeah, don't worry, that'll be covered up with carbon. The fairing has a two-step fairing design. That's for wind, max wind tunnel, wind resistance stuff that has a design to it. The exhaust is a little bit different. Even the clutch cover is different. If you come around to the front, you want to turn the key there, teens. The entire front end is redesigned. It's different. There was 4 headlights on the previous Panigale. Now they just have those daytime running lights, and then there's 1 headlight on each side. And I think that looks amazing. It's pulled down more. It looks angry. It looks pissed off. The windscreen is different. This whole entire section is different. Actually, you want to turn it back on, teens. It has a brand new 5-inch TFT display that's completely new. All new design, layout, everything about it has been changed and updated. It looks absolutely amazing. I've really come to love it already. This is the S model, so this is a V4S. Cost me $30,000 for this bike, and it's got full electronically controlled Öhlins suspension, front and rear. It also has an Öhlins steering damper. And one thing about this electronic Öhlins suspension is it's actually event-based. So say it's diving too hard under braking, you can actually go into braking and change, do you want it stiffer or do you want it softer? And it won't affect anything else that the bike is doing. It's really, really cool. It's very, very high-end technology, some of the best tech in the world. Coming around to the tail section here, you have the key on? Okay. All new, brand new tail section, completely redesigned. The lights go all the way around. Look at the brakes. It looks incredible. And obviously we're actually getting a complete carbon subframe for this bike. So the entire rear tail section, all the way from here, all the way up to here, all of this is gonna be full carbon. We're gonna be doing matte carbon on this bike. Oh, the gas tank, guys, completely redesigned, completely different. This right here is actually where the battery is. All the electronics are stored up here. The tank doesn't start until here, and it actually goes underneath the bike. That is where a lot of the tank goes. So it's mass centralization. They got that from MotoGP bikes. It also has a counter rotating crankshaft, which also comes from MotoGP technology. And it has the first ever mass-produced Ducati V4 engine inside of this thing, and I gotta tell you guys, it's absolutely insane. So also has brand new brakes, the Brembo Stilema. They're a little bit smaller than the Brembo M50s, and they have even more braking power, if you can freaking believe it. They also have brand new Diablo Pirelli Super Corsa SP tires. They're 200 by 60, so they have a little bit more patch here on the side. As you can see, I'm still breaking this in. Don't laugh at my chicken strips. But yeah, this bike is, it's stunning, guys. It's stunning. It has lived up to the hype. You'll see when I hop on it. But one thing that I really like, teens, you want to start this up? Or actually, one second. It's a V4, but it actually has a twin pulse firing order. And what that means is at low RPMs, it sounds like a twin and it feels like a twin. It has like a twin-like rumble. But then as you get up through the RPMs, it starts to sound like a MotoGP bike, and it's absolutely intoxicating. Yeah, it has emergency signal. It also has self-canceling turn signals, guys. When you put them on, it has the lean angle sensor, which is connected, and when you get straight back again after your turn, it'll automatically turn the signals off for you. It's freaking ridiculous. Light, high beam 2. Yeah, low beam 1 light, high beams 2 lights. The entire layout here on your handlebars is all updated and changed, completely different. So I just want people to understand this is a completely different motorcycle, okay? It's one of the most technologically advanced motorcycles you can buy right now. It's the fastest MCN ever tested. It did 192 miles an hour stock out of the crate. It's putting down 190 horsepower stock to the wheel.
Your side stand is down.
I know, it tells you everything. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So go ahead and start it up for them, teens. So notice how it almost sounds like a twin right now. When you give it low revs, give it some low revs. Sounds like a twin, right? And then as she builds up to the revs, you'll notice that. See how it, and then go up a little higher. See that? Yeah, it's freaking crazy. It's like riding a bike. Oh my God, yeah, it's amazing, guys. So I'm gonna hop on this bad boy. We'll take it for a spin.
Terrifying. We're gonna blow up.
But it's easy to ride. That's the craziest thing about it. We'll talk more about it. Let me hop. Yeah.
That's how I am when it's.
She's 5'4". Yeah, she's tippy toeing.
For a short rider.
It's the same seat height as the 1299, but the seat is a little wider. The tank's a little wider.
My flip-flops broke.
And you just broke your flip-flops. Unbelievable. Give a thumbs up for Christina breaking her flip-flops. All right, let's hop on this bad boy and take it for a spin. Thanks, teens. First thing you'll notice right away is how incredibly smooth this bike is. With the V-twin, L-twin, whatever you want to call it, Panigale, the 1299. The nature of just because of how that bike makes power with the being a big L-twin engine, it's just not a smooth motorcycle. Watch the self-canceling turn signal, wait for it, and boom, it's off. Listen to that thing, oh my God. So yeah, it's just incredibly smooth, guys, but it's not smooth like a V4, like a inline 4-cylinder that has no character. Like I said, it feels like I'm riding a bike that has two engines in it. One when you're down low, that nice thumpy twin pulse firing order that you get down low that sounds and feels like a twin. And then once you get up over 7,000-8,000, it just sounds like a MotoGP or V4, and it's intoxicating, guys. It's absolutely amazing. So you're looking at 214 horsepower. That's to the crank stock. If you put the Akrapovic full system on, which we already have ordered, 226 horsepower to the crank. We'll find out what that does to the wheel once we get the bitch on the dyno. Also, 430 pounds wet weight for the V4S model. So that did pick up about 10 pounds over its little brother, the 1299, which was 420 pounds wet. However, and here's the craziest part about this bike, it weighs 10 pounds more, but it handles, oh my God, guys, it's the best handling motorcycle I've ever ridden in my life. It's effortless. It is this low speed stuff on the 1299, good luck. You're almost better pulling in the clutch and coasting around the turns because it's so damn lumpy. The quick shifter on this thing has been so refined. On the 1299, when you would upshift and downshift, you knew you were upshifting and downshifting. On this one, you still get the tactile feel of shifting, but it's so smooth and so refined. And I think that's the biggest thing that impressed me about this bike is it literally feels, it took the 1299, which was an amazing motorcycle, but tough to ride and a bit busy, I would say. And it just improved on every single aspect of it. So, you know, easier to ride, smoother, still has an incredibly characterful engine. Obviously, it's got plenty of speed. I hope you can hear that engine note, man. When you start opening this thing up, it is ridiculously intoxicating. That's all you want to do is just, and it's so smooth. It's just, everything about this bike, it feels like it's helping you. So when you start to accelerate, that counter-rotating crankshaft, all the electronics, they keep you going forward. It's got wheelie control, it's got engine control, it's got traction control, it has slide control. You can literally slam on the rear brake into a turn, slide the rear wheel out, and it actually has a slide control that will help you keep that wheel right where you want it you can turn with the freaking throttle and it won't allow you to high side. Stuff that a lot of us aren't good enough to use, myself included, but it's just cool to have it there. Like I said, the electronically controlled Öhlins is absolutely remarkable. I think it's now the first time on a motorcycle where it's better than setting up a stock set of suspension. It's just, everything about it is incredible. Listen to that. The brakes are ridiculous. Like the Panigale, in my opinion, the 1299 already had some of the best brakes in the industry, and these are somehow better. And even though this thing revs out to 15,000 RPMs, you still get torque down low. Look, second gear at 5,000. Look what happens when I twist the throttle. Immediate power. And honestly, that's really, really impressive. You're not getting as much torque as the 1299, I will admit. It doesn't have quite as much of like a hooligan attitude as the 1299, but for what you're getting as a replacement is you're getting something that you can ride around on the street on a day-to-day basis. I'll hop on this thing to go to the gym, to run errands, and it's not stupid hot, it's not hard to ride, it's not like bucking and jerking, and it's just smooth and refined. And I really think that's kind of like the biggest improvement about this motorcycle. And I will say, yes, it is a tiny bit wider in the tank region, but now I can actually squeeze the tank and it keeps me from putting so much weight on my wrists. The rider position feels a lot better on this thing. You don't buy these bikes to tour, but I could go on a few hour ride on this thing. My hand's not going numb. I'm not pitched over onto the front end so much. I'm sitting down onto the motorcycle, like into the motorcycle, and I think that really helps with the handling as well. Obviously the counter-rotating crankshaft, the tank going under the seat, the MotoGP technology they borrowed from their MotoGP bikes, you know, they put it into a package that it's just easy to ride, you know, and I think that Ducati has absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one. When I first saw this bike, I will admit, there was some styling stuff that I thought they missed the mark on, but as I've ridden the bike and I've spent more time with it and around it and looking at it, I've actually started to really enjoy the styling. I like how they changed the changes that they made. I like that the changes were made for a specific reason. And yeah, I don't know, guys. If I was gonna buy a bike right now, drop my own hard-earned money down on a motorcycle, I'd probably pick up a base model for 21,000 or whatever it is. I think that it's the best bike you can get right now. The best super bike you can get. Look at the handling, guys. Like, I could drag me so easily on this thing. It's incredible. It makes you feel like a better rider. It kind of has that BMW feel. Like all those electronics and those rider aids, they kind of feel like a helping hand for everything that you do. Whether you're braking, whether you're accelerating, whether you're shifting, it feels like the bike's there to help you. Whereas the 1299, you could fight with it a little bit, which is fun on the street and when you're trying to be a hooligan. But when you're, you know, trying to get from A to B as fast as possible, you're racing your friends, or you're riding it on a track, you want a bike that's going to help you, not fight against you. And I got to tell you guys, you can do everything on this bike. You really can. It's got character, it's got cachet, it looks phenomenal. You feel special when you're riding it. It's easy to use, it's smooth. People like it, you know, when people see it. I will say, let's talk about some things I don't like about it. One thing I don't like about it is the mirrors. They're still worthless. If you're gonna put mirrors on a super bike, allow them to be moved around, like so I could move them in for filtering and stuff like that. They shake so much that I always remove the mirrors anyway. I prefer bar end mirrors. But yeah, these mirrors aren't really anything impressive. The other thing that I think is a little bit weird is to see the engine temperature there on the screen. It doesn't actually give you a temperature reading, and I actually like that. On the 1299, you could tell, you know, is it 200 degrees, is it 180, is it 220, what's the temperature, you know? And here you're only getting bars, so it says 3 out of 5 bars. What the hell does that mean? Who knows? But other than that, the dash is incredible. It auto adjusts from night mode. It'll switch to black, a black background. During the daytime, you get the white background. You can change all that if you want to. Also, it has rider modes, obviously. If you just hold down this mode button, you go into the mode selection. You can do street mode, which is like for putting around town, kind of like if you're in a city riding, stuff like that. Sport mode is what I normally ride it in, or you can go into race mode. You just hold in the button, it says go off the throttle, boom, now I'm in race mode. So ABS only, it changes a bunch of settings, which are all customizable. You can customize it however you want. Race mode on a 1299 was like, you better be going and doing like high-speed racing with your friends, because using that around like slow turns and stuff, it's ridiculous. Like, you're almost flying off the side of the road on that thing. It was so bad with the on and off the throttle. Race mode on this thing, it's usable. And I gotta tell you guys, MCN's fastest motorcycle they ever tested was this bike right here. Did 192 miles per hour top speed. That was stock gearing, stock exhaust, stock setup. I think it was also the fastest standing quarter mile. And it just, oh my god, it feels so good. I just can't say enough about it, guys. I can't stop riding the bike. All I want to do is ride it everywhere I go. It's that good. It really is. And hats off to Ducati for making a rideable super bike that's this fast and that's this good, because it's incredible. The Autopelipper, look at that. Oh, you know that it's auto blipping, but it's not like abrupt. Oh, the sound of the engine, it's a complete package, guys. I know that it's expensive, and it's a shame that it is so expensive, because I wish more people would have a chance to ride a bike like this, but that's what my series is for, you know. What a freaking blast. It's amazing, guys. So if you're not familiar with our motorcycle series, we customize motorcycles with the support of our patrons, and then we give it away to somebody who helped make the video or the series possible. So if you want to, you know, go and you can support for as little as $5. At the end of the series, you know, we put all the names onto a list. We use a random number generator. We pick a name, and they get the motorcycle. And it's a way for someone to get a bike. We're doing a full carbon build on this thing. So literally full carbon fairings, full carbon tank, full carbon rear subframe, everything. Full titanium exhaust, carbon wheels. It's gonna be probably worth about $70,000 when we're done with it, and it's gonna look freaking ridiculous. And you know, it's a way for people to get access to a dream bike that they probably couldn't afford otherwise, for as little as, you know, $5 an episode. And I think that's really cool. We have a great community over there, and I have an awesome mechanic in Dotto. I have a great sponsor, Moto Million, who gets us like some of the best parts you can get in the industry. But guys, this is in race mode. Look how easy it is to ride. It's crazy. Oh, I just can't get over how good this bike is. And I love the fact that it revs out so much higher. The twins are really fun because you have that punchy mid-range, but you can only take a twin to 11,000 before you have to shift. Look at how far you get, 15,000 RPMs. So if you're doing smackdowns with your friends, this is gonna be so much easier. It just doesn't take 2 weeks to get used to the bike. Dotto hopped on this thing. In 5-10 minutes, he was like, I feel like I could ride this bike faster than bikes I've spent weeks on. And that's really a testament to how good the bike is. Oh, one other thing I will mention is the heat. So if you know anything about the previous generation Panigales, they did have a bit of a heat issue. It was super hot under your ass. This one, there is some heat, but I'd say it's about half as bad. Look at that shit, dude. It's ridiculous. And yeah, the heat on this really isn't bad at all. Every now and then, if you're sitting in traffic for a while, it'll start to radiate, but it kind of moves around. It's weird. It's not just in one spot. The frame sliders, or the front frame, does get a little warm where you grip, but I'm going to be putting carbon frame covers over that anyway, which I think will help alleviate some of that heat. But yeah, I mean, other than that, guys, there's really not much I can say bad about this bike. It's just, it's so good and so easy to ride. And like, it's just, I can't believe it, guys. It's just that freaking good. Look at this. Look at that. Pop the front tire up coming out. It's just amazing. Oh, and the wheelie control will just keep it right there, you know, and it's just, I can't say enough good about the bike, guys. It's just really that good. And I barely even twisted the throttle for the front end to come up, you know. Look at it. Oh my god. It's just so good. It makes you feel like you're going a lot slower than you are. It's crazy. I can only imagine how good this would be around a track. It's so good, it's so comfortable, it's roomy. I like I said, I can't say enough good about it. So that's going to conclude my first ride and review of the all-new Ducati 2018 Panigale V4S. I hope that gives you some insight if you're interested in picking one up for yourself. Let me know what you guys think about the bike in the comment section below. Do you think this bike is worth $30,000? Would you buy a base model yourself, or are you just going to wait until there's a used version maybe next year? And I hope you guys understand that our 1299 series, although it is a Panigale and it was a carbon build, it's going to be completely different with this motorcycle. Like I said, the only thing it shares in common is pretty much the Panigale name and the fact that it's a Ducati. Other than that, it's completely different. So yeah, thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for more, check out the Patreon page if you want to get involved in our build series, be entered to win motorcycles, and that's about it. So thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.